Now, to perfectly understand the discrete axes, how can you modify them? We are going to be using a bar graph. So let's come in here and say ggplot to clear the console. So let's say ggplot and you say empty cars for demonstration purposes, and you come here and say we want, okay, let us specify the aesthetics. Remember, we have to convert this into a vector cylinder. Okay, so let's run this. So we have created this bar chart. Now it's time to add the scale. So if you come in here and you come and say scale to specify the axis, then we specify here that now this is discrete. Okay, say for example we want to change the label, so we have to use the name. This is the axis label. So now let's represent the number of cylinders. So let's run this. So we have managed to change the name of the axis. Okay, so we've managed to label the axis. Now what happens if we want to label these axes? Okay, so remember the argument for that is labels. Okay, so we have to come in here and say labels, right? And then we pass in a vector. Then we pass in this vector. Now let's say it's 4, then it's 6, then it's 8. Okay, so if you try to run this, you notice we have managed to change the axis to labels by using this labels argument. Same as previously when we had discrete axis. Okay, we can also have breaks. So we specify breaks in this case, okay, and say 4, remember it's going to be 4, then it's 6 cylinders, then it's 8. So let's run this. So we have managed to specify what? The breaks. So there's nothing that has changed because we use the default breaks, which is 4, 6, and 8. Because also remember our axes are discrete. We can also change the position. Okay, say we come in here and say the position, and let's say the position is at the bottom, which makes much sense to keep it at the bottom. You can see it makes much sense to keep this axis at the bottom because in this case we are dealing with discrete variables. Okay, so that is how you can also modify the discrete axis when you have the categorical variables. Remember what we did. Let me try to expand this. So what we did, we changed the axis, the name of the axis using name argument. Okay, then we specify the labels of here using these labels, and we pass in this vector. Okay, then we can also specify the breaks, right? So in this case we simply just specify the defaults because it makes much more sense to do so. This is a categorical or discrete axis. Then the position, which makes even much more sense to keep it at the bottom. Okay, so you should be careful. You just also trying to make sure whatever that you are plotting makes sense and it's clear. Okay.